Good morning, dear students. Today, under Unit 5, we'll be discussing Payment of Bonus Act 1965. If we go by the dictionary meaning of word bonus, it is something to be good, especially extra dividend to the shareholders of a company or distribution of profits to insurance policy holders, or it could be, gratuity to employ. It is a gratuity to employees beyond their wages. So, um, bonus was actually regarded as an ex gratia payment. That means payment as an act of grace made by an employer to his employees to provide a stimulus for extra effort by them in the production process or on occasions. It is also represented that it also represented the desire of employer to share with his employees the surplus generated by common endeavor and enterprise. So, from this limited connotation, uh, stage of enactment of payment of bonus act 1965 was set, which makes this annual payment obligatory on the employer. So paying of bonus is an obligation for employer. uh, so payment of bonus act 1965, it was enacted to provide for the payment of bonus to persons employed in certain establishments on the basis of profits or productivity and for the matters connected therewith. Uh, Basically, the Government of India appointed a commission known as the Bonus Commission by its resolution on 1961, and the Bonus Commission submitted its report to the government on 18 January 1964. And after the acceptance of the report by the government, they gave a statutory effect to the recommendations made by the Bonus Commission, and an ordinance known as Payment of Bonus Ordinance was promulgated in May 1965, and then later it was replaced from ordinance was replaced by the word act. So in September 1965, so it came as a Payment of Bonus Act. So this act, basically it applies to every factory as defined under the Factories Act 1948, and every other establishment in which 20 or more persons are employed on any day during an accounting year. However, the government may, after giving 2 months notification in the official gazette, make the act applicable to any factory or establishment employing less than 20 but not less than 10 persons. And the act is enforced through the Central Industrial Relation Machinery, that is CIRM, which is attached office of Ministry of Labour and is also known as Chief Labour Commissioner, and which is headed by the Chief Labour Commissioner Central. Then objectives of the act, it is to improve statutory liability to pay bonus or reward for good work in case of profits or losses. That means whether the establishment is enjoying profits or making losses, in both the cases bonus has to be paid. Then to prescribe formula for calculating bonus. Then to prescribe minimum and maximum percentage of bonus, that what should be the minimum and what should be the maximum percentage of the bonus that should be paid to the workers. Then to provide of set off and set on mechanism, and to provide redressal mechanism. So this was the objective of the act. And who are the employees who are eligible for the bonus? Talking about the eligibility of the bonus, the Act mandates payment of bonus to employees whose salary or wage is um, um, is up to 21,000 per month. So, if there was the recent amendment in this uh, salary or wage limit, otherwise it was prior to this it was 10,000 per month, and then it came to that how to calculate the bonus. So the act provides that the bonus payable to an employee will be in proportion to his or her salary or wage. However, if an employee's salary is more than 3,500 per month, for the purposes of calculation of bonus, the salary will be assumed to be rupees 3,500 per month, and the bill seeks to raise this calculating ceiling to rupees 7,000 for the month for the minimum wage notified for the employment under Minimum Wages Act 1948, whichever is higher. That means if this is the higher, then calculation will be based on this, and if the ceiling is higher, then the calculation would be done on the ceiling. Uh, Talking about the eligibility, that who actually would be the eligible for bonus. So every employee shall be entitled to shall be paid by his employer in an accounting year bonus in accordance with the provisions of this act, provided he has worked in the establishment for not less than 30 working days in that year. Workers who have option to attend at the factory premises are also entitled to bonus. Then seasonal workers who have worked for not less than 30 working days are entitled to bonus. Eligibility for bonus depends upon the employee having worked for at least 30 working days in the year. That means if a person has worked for 30 working days, so that person would be eligible for the bonus. There can be no condition against the statute. That means if employee is fulfilling all these conditions, so there can be nothing against that. The employees at the head office are entitled to the bonus at the same rate at which the workers of factory have been given by the virtue of settlement. So this is not only for the workers who are working in the factory, but who are also working in the head office and not actually doing any any work which is in the plant. So head office employees or workers too are entitled to get the bonus. A probationary is eligible for bonus, even even if there is an employee who's on probation. So he too is eligible for the bonus. That means every employee is entitled to bonus. Then there are calculations of bonus with respect to certain employees. This is given by under section 12 of by the amendment of 2015, which occurred in 2015. So that means where the salary or wage of an employee exceeds 7,000 per month, the bonus payable to him under section 10 or as the case may be under section 11 shall be calculated as if his salary or wage were 7,000 per month. The government has decided to enhance the eligibility limit for the payment of bonus to 3,500 per month. Now, what this is basically let us see this, that how bonus is to be calculated. This is the formula for calculating bonus. Bonus is equal to basic salary plus DA into 12 into 8.33%. That means this 8.33% is fixed by the government as the minimum percentage of the bonus which employee should be getting. Now, salary. So, how the salary would be? What would be the basic salary? So, now there are certain cases. Salary more than 21,000. If a person is getting more than 21,000 salary, he will not be eligible for bonus as per the act. Salary wages is up to 21,000. If it is up to 21,000, so for calculation purpose, 7,000 would be taken. That means herein, if for example, if I'm a worker and I'm withdrawing, if I'm drawing salary of or wages of, let us suppose, 19,000. So for calculation purpose of bonus, it won't be 19,000 plus DA. It would be 7,000 plus DA into 12 into 8.33. But if my wages is less than 7,000 but more than 3,500, let us suppose my salary or wages are 5,000 rupees. So for the calculation, that means herein actual salary 5,000 would be taken into consideration herein. That means 5,000 plus DA into 12 into 8.33. But if my wages are less than 30, if I am, for example, let us suppose I am drawing 3,000 rupees as wages. So for calculation purpose, 7,000 would be taken. Said that means my although I am drawing only 3,000 rupees, but for calculation purpose of the bonus, 7,000 plus T into 12 into 8.33 into 100 would be 8.33% would be taken as the bonus. So that means in order to give the benefit to the worker, this is how it has been calculated. So then disqualification for bonus. An employee shall be disqualified from receiving bonus under this act if he is dismissed from service for fraud, for riotous or violent behavior while on the premises of the establishment, or theft, misappropriation, or sabotage of any property of the establishment. Then payment of minimum bonus. As the Act gives the provision of having bonus to each and every employee whosoever is falling within the wage limit, so bonus should be paid along with the salary. Every year, every employer shall be bound to pay bonus to every employee. A minimum bonus which shall be 8.33% of the salary or wage earned by the employee during the accounting year, or rupees 100, whichever is higher. Bonus shall be payable in case of profits or losses in the accounting year. I'm repeating it once again. It doesn't matter whether your establishment is making profit or losses, but if you are covered under by the act, then you are liable to pay the bonus. So, having said that, there are certain key provisions of the act. Well, according to the Act, the term employee means any person employed on a salary or wage not exceeding 7,000 rupees in any industry, or 3,500 rupees in any industry to do any skilled or unskilled manual or supervisory, managerial or administrator or any type of work. Then an employee is entitled to be paid by his employer a bonus in an accounting year subjected to the condition that he or she has worked for not less than 30 working days. Then an employer shall pay minimum bonus at the rate of 8.33%. As we already discussed, that minimum rate of bonus is 8.33%, which has been specified by the government of the salary or wages earned by the employees in a year, or 100 rupees. Then if in accounting year, if the allocable surplus exceeds the amount of minimum bonus payable to the employees, the employer shall, in lieu of such minimum bonus, be bound to pay maximum bonus equivalent to the amount which shall not exceed 20% of the salary or wages earned by the employees. That means, if in case establishments are making huge profits, then in that case, surplus, there is allocable as surplus which is exceeding with the enterprise, then in that case employer shall pay the maximum bonus, which is around about 20% of the salary or wages earned by the employees. Then in computing the allocable surplus, the amount set on and set off shall be taken into account. Now, talking about that set on and set off, we have uh, that what exactly this set on and set off is. Uh, let us have an idea about what exactly set on and set off means. Because set on and set off, it gives a basis. It makes a basis for the company to provide bonus on the allocable, on the surplus which an enterprise or the establishment is having. Now, set on, it is the excess allocable surplus which remains after paying the minimum bonus of 20% of the salary that should be carried forward to the next following year to be utilized for the purpose of payment of bonus in case of shortage of the allocable surplus or losses occur. For example, so this is called set on. Now, if we see this example, let us suppose we have made a gross profit, right? Gross profit of 1 lakh, and 20% is 20,000 of 1 lakh. So 20%, because we have to keep 20, give 20% of the, we have to keep it as a side for the bonus. So 20% after paying, after deducting this, available surplus is 80,000. 1 lakh minus 20 is 80,000. Now, according to this act, now we have this much of surplus with us. Now, according to the act, allocable surplus in case of banking establishment is 60% of available surplus. That means 60% of 80,000 you'll have to keep. Then similarly, allocable surplus in case of other than banking establishments, 60% of the available surplus. Now this is, for example, our surplus. So 60% of the 67% of the available surplus we have to keep aside. Then minimum out of this, minimum is 8.33%, which we need to pay, and maximum is 20% in case of huge profits. Let us suppose, say after paying, say you have earned huge profits, and then after having this surplus, available surplus, and so 20%, you can go up to the 20% maximum. So set on is amount which remains as surplus after paying 20% of bonus and needs to be carried forward to the next accounting year. That means this is your set on, 80%. After paying 20% of bonus from this gross profit, that is 1 lakh, so this is the available surplus which will make your set on for the next accounting year, right? So where there, for example, when there are no profits available, surplus or allocable surplus, and the amount falls short or deficiency for payment of minimum bonus to employees, then 8.33%, such deficiency amount should be adjusted to the current accounting year from the set on amount which was carried forward in the case of excess allocable surplus in the previous year. That means from set on which you kept aside, which is 60%. If you are if you are banking establishment, so you have already kept 60% of this available surplus, which is now allocable surplus. So this makes it at the set off. So this is how we make provisions for set on and set off through the act. Now, when we talk about, say, bonuses, there are certain establishments which uh, which are not supposed to pay the which have been exempted, you can say, from payment of bonus, or you can say it does not apply to institutions like LIC, that means Life Insurance Corporation, Indian Red Cross Society. There are universities and other educational institutions. Then employees who are employed through contractors. Then employees employed by Reserve Bank of India. Then Industrial Finance Corporation of India, or financial corporations, even National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development, Unit Trust of India, then Industrial Development Bank of India. So all these are not liable to pay they are, according to the act, they are exempted from paying the bonus. However, like we said, there are certain universities and other educational institutions which are not supposed to pay the waiver. But however, it depends on the, say, universities, say on these type of institutions. If they want to announce, they can go for it, but they are not legally liable to pay the bonuses. Then there are certain, you can say, uh, how to like when we talk about calculation of bonus payment, that gross profit have to be there. So gross profit will include net profit, and you have to add income tax then provision for bonus to employees, depreciation, direct taxes, then donations, annuity due, capital expenditure, capital losses. So all these have to be added to the net profit to make the computation of the gross profit. And then you need to deduct minus. How will you be able to know that what is the amount left behind? So you need to deduct profits of or receipts relating to any business situated outside India, then income of foreign concerns from investments outside India, then expenditure or losses debited directly to reserves other than, say, capital expenditure, say, losses of any business situated outside India. Then, in case of foreign concerns, refund of any direct tax paid for. All these have to be deducted from the gross profit. From the net profit in order to make it the gross profit. So uh, there are certain special provisions in case of new establishments up to 5 years. Employees bonus is payable only in case of profits but not in losses by the management or employer. That means if you are a new establishment, so that means up to 5 years. If you are making that means up to 5 years, there's no concept of set on and set off. So if you are making profits, you can announce the bonus. If you are not making profits, you can not you are not liable to pay the bonus, but it is only up to the 5 years. So then again, the condition that the profits are remaining amounts after deducting expenses, depreciation and taxes, deduction of certain amounts from bonus payable. Employee is found guilty of misconduct causing financial loss to the employer. Then it shall be lawful for the employer to deduct the amount of loss from the amount of bonus payable by him to the employee under this Act. Then time limit for payment, bonus should be paid within the period of 8 months from the close of the accounting year. The maximum extended period for the payment of bonus is 2 years, but with the permission of government. Then recovery of bonus due from an employer. If any amount is due to employee as bonus from his employer, he can write and apply to the government for the recovery of bonus from the employer. And application shall be made within 1 year from the date on which the money became due to the employee and from the employer. So these were some main provisions and just a general idea how to calculate bonus and how to have set on and set off. I hope you have understood it. Thank you.